The following is a presentation of The Day.
Nothing better than a sunset on a Friday night in October in Connecticut. Live campus of Waterford High School. It's another Friday night lights. And tonight, here, it's all about what's it all for. Two coaches, Mike Zericchio of Ledyard, Seth Nolda of Waterford, in their fourth year with the program, bringing in teams that are both 4-0. And why are those fours wild? Because tonight we're going to find out which of them is moving forward and which one of them slides sideways. They're both ranked in the top 4 in Class SS, and they both want to make it to a state championship. And tonight we're going to find out a lot about both. And as always, the action is live on Game Day. Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. Gear up for game day with a winning smile from Waterford Dental Health. Located in Waterford, we're your go-to for top-notch dental care in a relaxed, friendly setting. Whether you need a routine checkup, a cosmetic boost, or advanced treatment, our experienced team has you covered. Enjoy the game with confidence and comfort. Schedule your appointment today. Waterford Dental Health, where your smile is our top priority. Visit us online or call now to book. Also, Game Day is brought to you by Philomena's. It's always game day at Philomena's, southeastern Connecticut's go-to destination for events, fine food, and great atmosphere. Offering an all-new brunch menu, wing and drink specials, and live music, Philomena's provides the premier atmosphere for viewing all your college and pro football. Stop in, say hi to Mike, Sarah, Mo, Todd, any of them down there at Philomena's. Sit at the brand-new bar or reserve your party in one of the 3 private dining areas because everybody is family at Philomena's. Casey O'Neill along with the coach, Pasta Sanabria, and it is a perfect night for football here at Waterford High School. And like we said, 2 teams undefeated. For Ledyard, their first real test of the season. For Waterford, their first test of kind of the level that this might be. We don't really know what either team is. We're going to find out a lot tonight.
You put the nail right there and smashed the hammer right down on it. 2 great stories coming from both sides. We've seen it from day one when you guys got me into this whole thing, how Waterford always tried to get over the hump, try to get to the edge, and they always had a hard time finishing through. They have a great program, and they're doing very well. Ledyard, the story is, how is their schedule working in, and this is their first test? Brother, it's going to be a great night for football. 2
premier, we'll call them quarterbacks, though Ledyard doesn't really believe in that, and we'll talk more about that at length. But 2 premier players, and you can see them both right there. For Ledyard, number 2, A.J. Adamick, perhaps the most explosive offensive player in the ECC. And across from him, number 7 for Waterford, Jax Higgins, perhaps one of the great leaders ever to play here at Waterford High School. And if you're wondering if that's a big statement, just ask his coach, because Coach Nolda says this program will never experience has not experienced someone like him under his regime, and it's going to be a while before they experience another like him. So 2 teams, 2 quarterbacks, 2 programs, everything lines up. This is why we love the Friday Night Lights.
We're with the families in the stand tonight, brother. You know, we're usually in the booth and we're echoing ourselves. To be here in a packed home site and the energy and the children out here participating, it's going to be a great day for football.
They got the youth night here at Waterford, so players from the youth program in attendance. Of course, October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, everybody's in their pink. The Waterford Lancer cheerleaders, look at those unbelievable T-shirts.
Great gear,
I know where those T-shirts came from, by the way. I might have had a hand in those down at Sporty's, but we're not going to talk about that. But look at the pink on the players, on the cheerleaders, both sides, the fans. It's the atmosphere where everybody, it's a community, right? Everybody kind of getting together tonight. The student section, all in pink. We love this. And they're going to have the national anthem, and then we are going to get underway.
I'm excited, brother.
bit about Ledyard not having the prototypical offense in the quarterback position. Most offenses run through the quarterback. The quarterback gets the snap and the cadence. Here at Ledyard, it's not the quarterback in charge of the cadence. It's not the quarterback in charge of looking at the defensive front and making the calls. It's actually the fullback. And if you're wondering more about that, well, you got to tune in at halftime and check out one of the two features available at halftime, profiling the great Jax Higgins of Waterford and Ledyard. And their fullback is the one who makes those calls, and that is something very different. It makes Ledyard very unique because they really don't look to throw the ball. Now, one of their wings, who's also a backup quarterback, Cal Cassavant, can throw it.
Right.
And if they need to, they'll run a pass off of him. But this is going to be real simple. When Ledyard has the ball, it's 11 helmets. We're trying to get 10 on 10 and leave Atomic one-on-one with somebody, and they'll take their chances.
That's the great thing about the single wing system. It's a misdirection. It's a scheme, and you can always adapt to it. Certain packages you're going to see tonight, how it works. You're right, the fullback will be the key leader. But how they change is the dynamic of the game. And we're hoping that they could try to stay under 3 and downs, because those 3 downs are going to be very critical.
Well, what I found so wonderful about the Ledyard's two backs, in particular, Atomic and Curse, we'll talk about in a minute. Waterford's going to kick it off. They're going to stay away from the Ledyard backmen, and instead Ledyard will have it 1st and 10 at the 27. Bacon Academy, I watched their game against Ledyard, and they decided to they tried to play goal line and make it, they wanted to bear crawl and make the line of scrimmage a mess, thinking that would slow up the Ledyard backs. What the Ledyard backs will do is they'll hesitate 1,000, let that mess happen, and read the mess.
Right.
And there's somewhere there's a spot, and they go, and it's remarkable the patience that they run. The discipline as well. Watch Waterford. Ledyard will run a shift off their set, and it draws a lot of teams off sides here. Let's see how Waterford approaches it. 1st down, Colonels. Ball at the 27-yard line. Atomic, not much there. Well done by the Lancers. You're going to see a lot of run blitzes into the backfield. First one to get there. Got him in the backfield. That was number 67, Noah Sullivan.
Yeah, this defense right now is just dedicated to stopping the run. And what we'd like to see is sometimes you could see it by the safety. Only one safety deep. They have everybody within that 8-yard box, and they want to make sure they execute in killing all the gaps that Ledyard's going to try to attack tonight.
So 2nd and 10, no gain on 1st down. Atomic waiting patiently. Now there comes the call and the set. Straight snap. Heads off right tackle, has a little bit of a hole, makes a man miss, gets to the outside, and gains about 6 yards. And there's the nuance to it, right? You saw a little bit of patience, but then when the burst is needed, he's got the burst.
Yes, and that's like that cloudy to clear mentality. They know they're going to have this. They practiced it so they can understand that hesitation is needed so that they could find that open gap. Just like he did right there. He knew he had to wait patiently to attack it, but that second gear kicks in. Watch out, he could explode.
And what's dangerous about Ledyard with Curse and Atomic is you can go 3 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards, but you make one defensive mistake. You miss one assignment, and they can go.
Right.
3rd and 4. There comes the shift. Waterford was prepared. They seem to know what's coming. We'll see how they handle this direct snap on 3rd and 4. Atomic cuts it back against the grain, and he's wrestled down from behind. Great job, Waterford. Holds him to a gain of a yard in the first decision for Coach Siricchio on 4th and 2. Ball is at the 35-yard line. So right away, Waterford done a nice job on their assignments on the first 3 downs. When Atomic cut it back, there wasn't much there.
A lot of good energy, and they're playing good gap defense. Yes, definitely.
4th down, it's a pooch punt out of the short. No one back for Waterford. It takes a Ledyard bounce, and it spins sideways. Waterford will have its first possession at the 26-yard line. But give the Lancers credit. They did something that a lot of teams have had a hard time doing, a 3 and out for the Colonels.
Yeah, and those are the things that they're going to make them effective. The duration of it all is how it's going to be, what that image is going to be for that defense. I love the energy. I love the scheme. Let's see what Ledyard can do next series. But right now, Higgins on the mic, brother. He's ready to run the rock. I'm excited.
Waterford senior Jax Higgins. Also Parker Spencer who's a regular in the grade 8 for his electric returns on punts. He's a main guy. You're going to see Cole Bumgardner. You're going to see Gabe Lombardi. You're going to see Mason Noseri all in the mix as well. But Higgins is the guy. High snap. Keeps it himself, and not much there. The timing of that play off a little bit. It never materialized.
What a great atmosphere tonight. A lot of family members here just packing the stadium here.
To get comfortable, I should have brought a blanket, though, tonight. It's going to get a little...
Oh, that's not chilly. This is only
chilly.
summer in Vermont. Got to give credit to Coach Cochran on that comment right there.
If I'm snuggling in the second quarter, you know it's a little chilly. 2nd and 9. Ball at the 28-yard line of the Lancers. Motion man is Bumgardner. Jet sweep and Ledyard. Penetration in the backfield. Their nose tackle is a great player, Aiden Schlimgen.
Aiden was the kind of guy that he just stood there and wait for that whole thing action, but the burst of speed of going in his gap and then coming back to make a play and grabbing cloth, we're going to see a lot of that tonight.
Against Bacon Academy, Schlimgen was firing off the ball. He is a physical player. Ledyard's in their 4-man front. They'll spot him and put him over the center as a nose position, and he is just a max effort guy on every play. When I talked to Mike Siricchio about him, he kind of looked at me and goes, yeah, he's a good player. That's coach speak for, yeah, we like him a lot. Higgins to throw, over the middle, tipped, and almost intercepted.
Wow.
It was tipped by Diego Rosario Gonzalez, and Cal Cassavant almost had a pick 6. But Waterford goes 3 and out, and we're going to see back-to-back punts. I thought this might be an offensive show, and instead we get punts. 3 and out, both teams.
Well, you know, when you're getting into the season, one of the things that offenses have to worry about is, yeah, we see the film. We understand what they're doing. But that's last week. What are they going to put in? And this is that chess match we're talking about that could create these kind of disturbances on the offense. Until they get it, we're going to see defense rocking and rolling.
Titus Streckvis deep for the punt. Nice punt. And it comes down instead to Streckvis. And he is hit almost immediately. But look at the offensive drive, right?
Yeah.
The effort, the max effort gets Ledyard into Waterford territory. So if nothing else, Ledyard has gotten onto Waterford's side of the field through the special teams.
Yeah, brother. Field position is going to be a key here, especially for a heavy running team. If they're over that 50, it allows them to be more elusive to do what they do best.
1st and 10 Colonels. Ball sits right at the 45-yard line of Waterford. 3 and out in their first possession. Let's see what A.J. Adamick and his fellow Colonels have here. Off right tackle. And he kind of turned his body a little bit so he could jackknife through, but not much there. 2-yard gain. Waterford doing such a great job mucking things up. Avery Bonowitz in on that tackle.
A little football 101 to those parents out there. The defensive linemen, we're always teaching and coaching principles about using your hands. What they're doing is they're neutralizing that offensive push with their hands and then attacking the gap. And that's causing a hard time for the running back to either attack a hole or delay and bounce. So this is a good job right now for Waterford.
2nd and 9. Moving to the other side of the formation is Rosario Gonzalez. Now he's in motion. Handoff to Rosario Gonzalez, and he's wrestled down in the backfield.
Looks like number 8.
Coming up to make the tackle was Porter Watson.
They are flying around now tonight, Casey. A lot of energy on that defense.
So that's going to be 3rd and 9.
Yeah, they're mixing it up. I saw some slanting right there, penetration that's causing the offensive linemen not to work on their assignments, and it's just breaking up a couple players to be open and tackle.
This is where it's difficult for Ledyard, though, because there really is no passing game to speak of.
Definitely.
And so defensively, you're really just trying to, make it a 4-yard gain, and we'll, get the ball back. Adamick runs it off right tackle, cuts it back. Now gets to the outside. Gain of about 6 on 3rd down, but I think on this side of the field, I think you'll see Ledyard go for it, but, it's a question of how does Coach Siricchio like his defense and the chance of maybe pinning Waterford, inside their own 10-yard line, or, is 4th and 5. I think if he had gotten 2 more yards, they go for it, but.
Yeah. But now they have that hidden kick game, so that's part of their plan. They could set it up and call it. That's a great thing about that offense.
4th, different formation. We'll see if they shift into the punt formation on 4th and 5. No, direct snap. They're going to go for it. Adamick back up the middle, and he's not going to get there. Lancers do the job. Hold again, this time on downs. Bumgardner was the first one there to make the tackle for Waterford, and very impressive defensive effort here on the first 2 possessions by the Lancers.
Yeah, that energy is all about team defense. The edge players did their job. Defensive linemen stayed and held down, and the safeties went and came down with the linebacker to wrap and tackle. That's fundamental football, guys. That's the energy you want to have to carry for 4 quarters.
So we'll see what Jax, Higgins, and the crew do here on their next possession. They went 3 and out as well, including a loss. Higgins will operate from the shotgun. Motion man comes across. Screen, it's a behind the line of scrimmage to Spencer, and he's buried. Nothing doing. Cal Cassavant came up, met him behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of, it looks like 5. So dangerous play there. It's a lateral. It's behind the line of scrimmage, and they're trying to give Spencer room to run like they do on, a punt, but that was very well defended by Cassavant.
With Higgins as a quarterback, that's a lot of confidence you can work with right there, and I think what they're just trying to do is find out what this defense is playing to have an advantage. Right there, that would work.
2nd and long for Waterford. We'll call it 15. Ball at the 32-yard line. Spencer in motion on the jet sweep. Higgins keeps it himself, bounces off one tackler, and finally wrestled down as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Jackson Grimm got him down as he got back to the original line of scrimmage and maybe a yard more. 3rd and 9. Waterford hustles up to the line. Three receivers. Higgins to throw. Plenty of time. Ball deep into double coverage. Spencer went up for it, and it was knocked away by Rosario Gonzalez. That ball was thrown, I think, he has such confidence in the guy, but the throw, he wasn't open.
No, it's a timed route, and it was aptly overthrown, but Spencer was smart. You see what he did there was he knew that was an opportunity for an interception, so he had to actually play the defensive player to get that ball batted out of the way. Otherwise, Ledyard would have the ball.
Streckfus and Rosario Gonzalez back deep to receive the punt. They stand at their own 30-yard line. And Spencer will punt it away. He stands at his own 25. Good snap. And he's going to fake it. I think he thought it was going to get blocked, and instead it's an incomplete pass. Oh. So he threw it, which was helpful, but that's a turnover on downs, which means Ledyard's going to have amazing field position right back at the Waterford 39-yard line, 38-yard line. I think he thought it was going to get blocked.
Yeah, it looked like intimidating, but there was a lot of pressure coming off that left side, and I think that's something that the coach on the other side found out. He was a little nervous, then he tried to throw it, but I didn't see any receivers actually throw their hands up to say they were open, so, yeah.
I don't think it was an intentional fake. No. I think he saw the pressure and thought that it was a blocked punt, but I think you got to try to just get something off.
Definitely.
So Ledyard with its third possession here in the first period, and neither team has done anything on the offensive side. Adamick, hesitation, breaks the tackle in the backfield, but nothing there. Lancers flying to the football.
This Lancers defense has gotten better from last year. You know, we always saw that they always had a little hiccup here, going off sides or lack of discipline in tackling, but they seem to be uniform today. I like the energy they have on that side.
Much better job of physicality and tackling from Waterford. And we said, Ledyard 4-0, but I think they've played 4 teams that have won a game or 2 combined.
Right.
Waterford's played a better set of competition, but they haven't played anybody maybe as good as Ledyard. And so we thought we'd see a lot of offense. Maybe the defenses are better than we thought.
Yep.
Snap goes to Grimm, and Grimm with a big run, first down, and just when you think it's going to one of the speedy backs, the fullback Jackson Grimm gets it, and he goes outside for a huge gain. Ledyard's deepest possession, but we have a flag. Blocking below the weight. Oh, no, that can't be against Waterford.
That might be clipping, because we can't clip anymore. Isn't that clipping?
It would have. I thought it was a block below the knees, but a cut block, but against Waterford. So they're saying that
The defensive players sometimes when they try to
when
stop the run,
underneath- yeah.
you can't really cut anymore. It's just a safety factor, and I think those are one of the rules that they've established to have that done.
So that gets the ball to the 9-yard line. So it'll be 1st and goal right at the 10. They cannot get a first down. But this is the deepest Ledyard's been. They're in the red zone. Knocking on the door, and the direct snap this time goes to Adamick. I think Waterford jumped, and if so, that is a gift. It'll bring them 5 yards closer and get them to 1st and goal from the 5.
Yeah, Sam, the defensive lineman, he was really excited and ready to go. But he's listening to the cadence, and he's not keeping his eyes on the ball. That's the big factor right
Watch
there.
the
And
ball.
Yeah, watch the ball.
Watch the ball. I feel like that's all I hear when I'm down in the trenches.
Yeah.
Watch the ball.
That's how we do.
1st and goal from the 5. 3 minutes remaining here in the first period. Ledyard with its best scoring opportunity thus far in the ballgame. Adamick, off right tackle again, tries to squeeze through, maybe a yard. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 4.
There seems that more and more we're seeing single wing offenses, from the powerhouse New Haven team, right now to our local areas that have had a lot of single wing action. And this does help out when you don't have a good quarterback or you're missing a couple pieces in there. But again, it's all about running, and you have to make sure you execute. Otherwise, it won't go for nothing.
How about Class SS, where Wyndham, who we saw last week, is number 1. Killingly, who we saw the week before, is number 2. Waterford and Ledyard, 3 and 4, and we're seeing them tonight.
We're seeing them tonight. Very
Sheehan,
lucky.
number 6.
Yeah.
Only because they lost to Killingly.
Killingly.
And you saw them.
Oh, that was a great game.
Adamick heads to the outside, has the angle into the end zone. Touchdown, Colonels, A.J. Adamick. He beat Spencer to the corner, put his shoulder down, and the Colonels crack the scoreboard 6-0.
Great play call right there as that sealed the edge and allowed Adamick to get to the outside and match up with the DBs.
Spencer did a great job getting to the pylon, but once Adamick's got the angle, it's really not much you can do. All he's got to do is kind of turn it in and then it's a touchdown.
In that situation, we call it physics. There's sometimes an impossibility to push somebody else unless you're going like a bolt of lightning.
Wanamaker in for the extra point. Snaps good, holds good, kick. Doink! Woo! Off the upright left. That might put a dent in it. And that's a break for Waterford. It's 6-0 Colonels. We'll be coming right back. Let's take a look of how it happened.
I tell you, Case, I was excited how sometimes they found the angle. The guard pulling or fullback picked up the edge player, and as he gets to the corner, he just had that one-to-one matchup that we were talking about. Get that guy to a one-to-one matchup, 9 times out of 10, that young man's going to win the game.
6-0. We'll be right back. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Here at Game Day, we're proud to bring you unrivaled video coverage of local high school sports, all of it free for you to watch. These videos are not free for us to produce, though. If you'd like to ensure that we can keep covering your school and your teams, there's a few ways that you can support us. Hit up our merch store and pick up some game day gear in your school colors. Our camera operators are always looking for those shirts and hoodies in the crowd, and you may see yourself on our next live stream. We get a lot of support from businesses in our community, and if you'd like to join them as a sponsor, send us a message and we can connect you with our advertising staff. Finally, The Day is the organization behind everything we do here at Game Day. If you want to support The Day's community journalism, consider a print or digital subscription at theday.com/subscribe.
Wanamaker, who might get a bill from athletic director Chris Landry for damage to the left upright
Casey on fire.
after he hit a rocket off the left upright. Ledyard on top 6-0. He'll kick it off. Waterford hasn't had anything going yet offensively, and a punt mistake is what ends up costing them. Spencer takes it at his own 5, heads upfield. He's dangerous, shows his speed, crosses the 30. Parker Spencer gets Waterford into good field position at the 32-yard line.
Spencer's amazing. He's so electric. And special teams, people don't give him credit for it. He does great adjustments in those areas that he can actually get some good yardage for the offense.
We were talking earlier about, Wyndham, and Wyndham Ledyard is a game in the future that's going to be good. But take note, the state did as well, about Killenly went to Guilford
Yep.
and put a thumping on Guilford.
Yeah.
That's another good win for Killenly, who is increasingly impressing here in the state. Higgins on first down, keeps it himself, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle. Jax Higgins is off to the races, crossing the 35-yard line, and finally caught from behind by Jamel Curse. But a big play for Waterford from their guy. Jax Higgins has them in business.
Man, that's the leadership that I was trying to just wait and see and happen, man. He saw and read it perfectly. Great blocking off the front, sealing that inside, and the lead backer leading the way. And then he just had this grit to take off on those corners. Great play for Waterford.
He broke 2 important tackles with his agility, then showed some speed. Out in the flat, Spencer hit immediately and taken down quickly by Dominic Botts. And that'll be a short gain of about 4, but a good gain on first down for Waterford, who's still moving the ball.
Yeah, they're increasing their tempo right now. I like this advantage.
We've seen this from them in the past. They seem to do well when they do. Higgins keeps it himself again. He stumbled, never really had his feet underneath him, and he was brought down by Ryan Whaley. Gain of maybe a yard. It's going to be 3rd and 5. We've seen Waterford go up tempo, and they always seem to have success. We've always wondered why they don't do it more. Well, they're doing it now. Try to draw Ledyard, and there comes the flag, and that'll be a free first down for Waterford. The hard count from Higgins gets them a first down. It'll move the ball up, and it'll be inside the 20, so Waterford officially in the red zone for the first time tonight.
A little hint to all the coaches in Connecticut. Teach cadence and line calls, because there's a lot of offsides. We've been seeing that all year long. That takes an opportunity for an offense to just a quick play, get 5 yards.
First and 10. Ball at the 15-yard line. Motion man, Spencer. Higgins on a little delay trap counter. I don't know how many different terms I can throw. A delay counter trap to Spencer.
It was like a Rudy Tooty play.
But bottom line is it lost 2,
Yeah.
so.
Well, the big man, you know who he is. Yeah, Aiden was on fire right there.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, very athletic for his size. He kind of reminded me of a little Tony Saragusa. Good footwork, loves to use his hands, and
That's
guess what,
right,
man? Great athlete. I loved his sense of humor. I hope this
Baltimore
guy
Ravens.
has the same thing.
Well,
Yeah.
you look at Schlimgen, he's built like a guy that would just bowl you right over, but he's got surprising quickness laterally and very good hands. 2nd and 10. Higgins, jet sweep, Spencer. No, excuse me, check that. Bumgardner. And nothing really there as Bumgardner got back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 10, ball at the 15. So we're at the end of the first quarter. 6-0 Colonels, Waterford driving. Will they get it in? We'll find out on the other side. You're watching a Game Day live on theday.com.
Communities that are no longer covered by local newspapers become news deserts that lack journalists providing government oversight and access to quality information. The Day is committed to providing comprehensive news coverage in every town in southeastern Connecticut, but we've had to scale back coverage in some towns, including Ledyard and North Stonington, due to market forces affecting local news companies around the country. We need the continued support of the communities we serve to help fund additional staffing that enables us to provide the kind of coverage our readers expect in every town in the region. If you'd like to support the Day's News Desert Fund, please visit givebutter.com/theday.
They're in pink tonight. Lancer Nation, we're used to seeing them in the royal blue, but tonight they're in all pink, showing the support, and their team is at the 15-yard line with a big 3rd down coming up here. When I talked with Coach Zeth Nolda before the game, he said that they had added a couple of wrinkles. We've seen them already.
Yeah.
We saw, everyone was keying on Spencer on that jet sweep, and it was basically a 2-headed animal with Higgins and Spencer. They've added some misdirection. We saw the counter.
Yep.
They're trying to do some different things. We've seen some patterns from them we haven't seen
Right.
throwing the ball. 3rd and 10 from the 15. They're going to need the whole offensive repertoire. Spencer goes in motion. Higgins is going to keep it, and nothing there. Brought down virtually immediately, Brian Johnson, We know Johnson is the leader of this team on both sides of the ball, and he's everywhere. 4th down for the Lancers.
What a phenomenal read. I think some of these guys don't understand. When linebackers read and they're explosive like that, it's because they have that neuro repetition of understanding what that lineman's doing. And when he saw that guy block down, he attacked it like a bolt of lightning, made a great play. Looked like a collegiate player right there.
So 4th down, Waterford will go for it from the 15-yard line. Higgins is going to throw. Has time over the middle into double coverage. Incomplete. It was knocked loose by Johnson.
Wow.
That was a great throw into tight coverage and a better defensive play. That is worth watching again because Johnson came in and undercut the route. Higgins tried to kind of thread it into very tight
coverage.
coverage.
Ball right there. That was a good striker. He's been throwing really phenomenal tonight. Just got to get that connection right on time.
So that'll turn it back over to Ledyard. He'll have it at the 15-yard line. Waterford got close but couldn't quite get it done. Here's the replay. Watch the tight window, and Johnson at the last minute gets the hand in. Curse very well defending it as well. Ledyard shifts it over now. They scored on their last possession, but this time they have a long way to go. Adamic's going to go left. And nothing there at all. He's going to lose 5. Great pursuit. Waterford winning the battle at the line of scrimmage right now.
It's a great thing for the defense to have under their belt is that they know run reads. You know, instead of mixing it up and wondering how we're miscuing, we're going right after it, and we're going to go 100%. It's kind of like a, high risk, high reward mentality, and that's that great energy that's keeping this offense stifled right now.
He lost 5, so 2nd and 15. Again, for the Ledyard offense, 2nd and 15 can be very dangerous. Waterford here, knowing they're not going to go for it on 4th down, just has to stay disciplined for 2 plays.
Exactly, brother.
Let's see if Coach Siricchio draws deep into the playbook. He does. Snap goes to Jackson Hayward. Hayward got back to the original line of scrimmage and maybe a yard more, but 3rd and 9 in very dangerous territory. Actually, they're going to say he got a little more, 3rd and 7, but that's still a nice long 3rd down. Good job by Waterford, but you can see how Ledyard, and they throw little glimpses of other things at you to make sure hey, we'll do it.
We'll do it.
We'll do it. But then when it comes down to it, it's going to be number 1 and number 2 that are the most dangerous, but they've shown you, hey, Grimm can run the ball. Hey,
exactly.
Hayward might get it. You never know.
And he's got a lineman number. That's a shocking thing.
He snapped the ball and ran.
Exactly.
3rd and 7, ball at the 17-yard line. Again, Hayward gets the snap, has a block, but he stumbles over his own feet. He tripped over the 30-yard line, actually the 20-yard line. The 20-yard line is a very good tackler.
Yeah.
We've known that.
The grass is high over there. They have to cut it.
And
so,
so,
that anymore, right?
Listen, that used to be an excuse for Ledyard in New London.
Yeah. We could talk about that. I still have a little trauma about the 4-inch grass up there at Ledyard. But
back when New London had all the speed, Ledyard didn't cut the grass for 6 months.
And there was always a hurricane over there for some reason.
4th and 4, Ledyard will punt. Flag comes down. False start against Ledyard. It'll back them up 5 yards. But what's interesting is they don't punt out of a traditional, which makes me wonder, do they have a long snapper that can snap for punts?
Yeah, it's hard to find those nowadays. These kids got to be really dedicated to be a long snapper. I had a chance to do that, and it got me a scholarship in college. And it's a daily grind. You have to always work on that.
So 4th down, Ledyard to punt the football away. Fortunately, I have replacement rosters. Good punt at midfield. Parker Spencer heads left, has speed. We know he's dangerous. And out of bounds inside the 20. So right back into the red zone goes the Lancers. I said it on last week's Grade 8. Haven't we learned not to punt the ball to Parker Spencer because he's going to hurt your feelings? That time, speed to the outside, and Waterford has it, and they're in business.
He's good. He's a great kid. He's got a lot of energy, and his vision is really good. I was seeing him run, and I seen him do 2nd level and 3rd level reads, knowing how to run fast and try to get to the outer edge. Great opportunity for Waterford right now with this field position.
1st and 10, ball at the 16-yard line. Higgins keeps it, cuts back up the middle off of right tackle. Nice 6-yard gain on 1st down. And I think you're going to see more up-tempo, but I also think you're going to start to see Higgins keeping the ball a little bit more.
This game is about leadership, and he's the one I would give it to, and I liked his energy the way he's playing. So, yeah, why not? Keep feeding the guy.
Gain of 5.5, and that's always important. Getting into those 2nd down and short situations makes the Waterford offense, like any offense, much more versatile. Rassicott in the backfield to his left. Handoff, Rassicott, and he gets maybe 2.
Wow.
Brought down quickly, making the stop was Titus Streckfus of the Ledyard Streckfuses. We've known them for quite a while, the Streckfus family.
Both defenses tonight are just playing really good energy football, man. I love the way they play. You know me, I'm a defensive guy. But to see both offenses just really having a hard time because of the defensive work ethic, and it's not just an offensive mistake here and there, just shows that they've been planning and training very well for this game.
3rd and 4, ball at the 10. Waterford has been knocking, but no one, so far, Ledyard has not let anyone answer the door. Higgins is going to keep it. Shows his wheels to the outside. One more to beat. Dives towards the end zone. Ball goes on the turf, but he's got a 1st down. It'll be at the 2. 1st and goal, Waterford, on pure individual effort from Jax Higgins.
If there's any word that could describe this young man, is he's selling out for this game. What an energy. Even though he was going to get into the end zone, he dove and stretched. He's telling this defense, I'm going to find a way to get in here, and that's going to be an intimidating factor in the game.
If you want to watch a feature on Jax Higgins and find out why he's such a great leader and his philosophy on leadership, stay tuned at halftime and you'll be able to see it. Ledyard takes a timeout. Waterford has it 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. We'll be right back. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Last year, Waterford senior number 4 on the grade 8, the Olympico kick. I'm here with Cam Dickinson. I don't think she can pull it off. It looks way too hard. I think it was a fluke. Get it done.
I got it.
That was just too easy, and that is a grade 8 play. Send in your best plays and see if you can beat that and make this year's grade 8 Olympico style.
Relive a century of history from the perspective of southeastern Connecticut with the new hardcover book, Front Page News, a century of big stories in the day, 1881 to 1981. This 136-page limited edition book captures the pulse of a region and a nation, showcasing the day's most iconic front pages from its first 100 years. Order today at theday.frontpagesbook.com.
Knocking on the door, 1st and goal. The Lancers down 6-0 here in the 2nd period in this battle of the undefeateds, Waterford and Ledyard. And Coach Zeth Nolda goes sprinting, and he calls a timeout as well. So interesting off of the Ledyard timeout that Waterford calls a timeout. I think they obviously saw something they didn't like.
Yeah, maybe the play call right there, he saw something, and I thought it probably more a stacked defense, and he said, probably going to be a run call, and made that run. He was running down the sidelines fast there, though.
Well, he said, I called the pass where we throw an interception. I didn't want that.
Yeah,
I want the touchdown.
A lot of these coaches right now, their offseason training has been impeccable because they're running up and down the sidelines. Me, 5-10 yards, then I'll whistle for the water boy to get some water, do 2 more yards, then I'll say, Jimmy, take over.
So if you're listening to the Waterford Band right now and the great Tim Fioravanti, who runs the Waterford Band, they're playing Sweet Caroline. I bring this up because at halftime it's everybody's favorite segment, 3 pounds of pasta.
Yum,
and
yum.
I will tease that one of the pounds of pasta does have a sort of 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon sort of link to Sweet Caroline.
Let me drink my brain juice.
Ha-ha.
Put some more water in me here.
So Waterford likes this play. Eye of the Tigers coming out now. I mean, if you can't get into it right now, you're a zombie. 1st down, Higgins gets the snap, keeps it himself, heads towards pay dirt, puts the shoulders down. Jax Higgins, touchdown, Waterford. That drive was Higgins, and Higgins.
Yep. Higgins cubed.
And Higgins.
Yeah, and the way he finished it was a serious exclamation point that he says he wants to get back there again. He drove into the end zone, and that's that attitude, again, that leadership we're talking about, that's going to make this offense possibly explode.
Oh, good. It's a muddle huddle. They'll go for two.
Your favorite.
I have
Vitamin, oh, my God.
85% chance that this will have a flag. Nope.
We got a timeout out of it.
Ledyard's going to call a time. Now, that's fascinating to me.
Okay, that's why the muddle huddle works. If you don't practice it and it comes out of nowhere, it pulls a flag. It pulls a little timeout. It pulls a little something.
So Ledyard uses its second timeout in the second period to defend a two-point conversion. That tells me that they know points are at a premium.
Right.
Because they're not just going to concede a two-point conversion here. They know that's very interesting. I mean, timeouts are precious.
It's been a good coaching aspect of seeing these young coaches right now know a little bit more about the game in scenarios, okay? We've always learned about the game in an open sense. You know, families always see kids playing plays after plays after plays, but there are a lot of scenarios that you can, as a coach, that they think through. They put their time in to see what would happen if this happens. And when it comes out there, to see these two teams working on it means that they studied each other very well.
So the two young coaches, Mike Siricchio in his 4th season, Zeth Nolba in his 4th season, both took over teams that have had successes. Ledyard more than Waterford in recent years, but were both kind of struggling when they took over. Of course, Ledyard scrapped everything.
Yeah.
Now Waterford's going to go and take a shot at the extra point instead. Snaps good, holds good, kick is up. And no good. That left upright has a magnet for the football. That one slid
like
wide.
a fine tuner. All we're hearing is, and there it is, that motion across that we were talking about, Casey, misdirection, and then he leads himself to a finishing run. Look at that. He just piled into the end zone. That's that energy that Waterford team would like to have.
The Waterford High School cheerleaders like what they see. Their Lancers have tied it up at 6. We'll keep it here in this tie ball game with 7:06 remaining in the first half. Sometimes, I'm thinking of the great Norman Dale, coach of the Hickory team in Hoosiers. Sometimes you can get a little too tricky.
That's right.
And Jimmy has to look at you and say, Coach, I'll make it. And you have to remember that you got the guy.
You got the guy.
And Waterford, in their first few possessions, were trying to spread it out, trying to let Ledyard know that they can do other things. And I think after some frustration, they just said, Jax,
that's it.
You gotta do your thing.
Yeah, it's really exciting that he is actually taking that role. Last year, we always seen the frustration that he had, the passion of winning, and now he's got that winning attitude that's going to take him over the top.
Good kick, taken at the 15-yard line by Colin Rhodes, and a nice return by Rhodes up to the 38-yard line, where the Colonels will have it in more palatable field position than the last time.
Yeah.
So far, when Ledyard's had short field, they scored. When they've had the long field, they've struggled, which makes a lot of sense.
Oh, yeah, statistically proven that, most teams that start on the 20-yard line or inside that 10 yards, it's really difficult to score. When you have an advantage over the 50, it just for some reason brings energy, attitude, and plays that could work.
1st and 10, Colonels at the 37-yard line. Waterford's defense has played very well thus far. Adamick heads left, looks for a block, breaks a tackle, but not much there, maybe 2. Waterford once again doing a really great job at the line of scrimmage with penetration, just muddling things up. Now, a lot of teams, like I said, have gone to the approach of goal line and trying to, get to the ground and muddle it up. Waterford, very comfortable trying to shoot gaps and trying to make things just difficult on the cut.
It's beautiful because the front four actually are doing the things that we would love defensive linemen to do. Using your hands, making moves, attacking and ripping, and then tackling. We've been talking about tackling being an issue for them. They're really tackling great tonight, brother.
That means there's going to be a 60-yard touchdown right here on this
play.
play.
Yeah, exactly, right? Wipe out.
2nd and 8. Clock to 6:10 and counting at the snap. High snap, and there's a little inside reverse. Rosario Gonzalez takes it off of the little reverse from Adamick, and he gains maybe 4. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5. Maybe a little shorter than that, 3rd and 4, but Waterford stayed in there nicely, wasn't fooled, and big Donato Barnhill stood his ground and ended up helping out on the tackle.
Yeah, it's a coaching principle. We also say with single wing and double wing, if they motion away from you, stay home. Someone's coming back, and that happened.
So 3rd and 3, short yard situation here for the Colonels. Whistles and a timeout. Ledyard's going to use its final timeout here with 5:30 remaining in a 6-6 game. So since they're going to take a timeout, we'll take a timeout. Waterford, big 3rd down stop here for the defense. Colonels, let's see what they can do. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
At The Day, our journalists are in your community, talking with business owners, attending town meetings, analyzing data, talking to government leaders, reporting on the issues that matter most to you. Since 1881, we have been serving our community and will continue to do so 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Never miss a day of news. Enjoy convenient home delivery right to your doorstep, 7 days a week. Subscribe at theday.com/subscribe.
Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. Gear up for game day with a winning smile from Waterford Dental Health. Located in Waterford, where your go-to for top-notch dental care. 3rd and 3. Colonels with the ball at their own 46. They shift right. Adamick looks to go on 3rd and 3. A little movement, and I think Ledyard jumped. False start, that'll back him up 5, and that's a big penalty. That really hurts. The 3rd and 3 versus 3rd and 8 for this Ledyard offense is a big difference.
I don't know, I just want to say it simple. 3rd and long is wrong. We've been seeing a lot of it, and we haven't seen any success from it, except for a couple good plays, but those are miracles. I think in situations like this is where you have to be disciplined. This is how you have to show you're an elite team in the league, and, that's not going to qualify for me.
Officials talking it over, though. They haven't backed it up 5 yet. I'm wondering if they say that
Maybe
Waterford...
a dual action, because there was some Waterford movement, too.
Did Waterford jump first, and then that would be a big switch of things.
There we go.
And they are saying, no, it is against Ledyard. So I would say 3rd and 3, whee!
Yeah.
3rd and 8, not great.
Not great, not at all. No.
We hate 3rd and 8, but 3rd and 3, we're free.
Yeah.
I can think of all kinds of ways to express bad penalty.
Yeah. They're rocking the music out here tonight, man. The mixture of bringing it into the game, that's a great atmosphere for football. These Waterford fans right now are really pumped.
The great Lee Elsey is down on the sidelines. He was roaming around earlier, and there's no bigger Sabbath fan than Lee. So I think of him every time I hear Ozzy or Ronnie Dio. They took me to my Ozfest for the first time many years ago.
That's awesome.
3rd and 8. Grimm heads left and brought down right as he gets past the line of scrimmage. Beautiful pursuit. Alex Dijak and Porter Watson got out there, and I really love the pursuit.
The speed is different. The energy is different. It seems like they are really kind of like that bonding has shown a lot of promise. Remember, they have made a lot of mistakes, and we know teams that go through those struggles, when they get better, when they're in the weight room doing those things, and remember this, remember that, that shows right now that they've had a program that's really started from those summer, just workouts, and it's showing good stuff for Waterford right now.
4th and 7. Punt. Heads towards the sideline, away from Spencer, who picks it up on the double bounce. Drops it, picks it up again, makes 2 men miss, crosses the 25.
That kid is phenomenal. Was that a dribble? Did he do a crossover?
Well, he is the point guard on the basketball.
Oh, my
team.
goodness. What a reaction. And the way the ball bounced back and he caught it with confidence, knowing 2 players are coming at him full speed.
I think that's what happened. He caught it, and he went into, I'm going to break some ankles.
Yeah.
And he forgot when you break ankles, you can't dribble.
You can't cross over with that, yeah. Keep it high and tight. 6 points.
Let's take a look here as he picks it up in the bounce. Right here, he went to go break the ankles, but that was a nice, right back up.
Can that be just a grade 8 for the technique?
I think most times that ball bounces away from you. For him, it bounced right up into him.
Right back at him.
I'm not that lucky. Higgins, 1st down, gives it to Spencer. Flag on the play. I think that's going to be a block in the backfield against Waterford, as that play was kind of doomed to fail from the get-go.
Yeah.
Too long to develop.
That's one thing that I'm noticing. Defense for Ledyard is a fast defense. They're going to react quick, and that slow mesh process, There's got to be quick hits, jet sweeps, kind of inside handoffs, and then let just Jack run it. Run an ISO with him and just let him go full speed right off the rip.
So that's going to back him up. And with 4 minutes here remaining in the half, here's where it's interesting, though. Ledyard is out of timeouts.
Yeah.
This is where you'd want to use some defensive timeouts, get the ball back in good field position. But Waterford, with 3 downs and a lot of clock, can certainly eat away. And, they don't have to necessarily score any points here. They're getting the ball to start the second half.
Exactly.
Higgins from the shotgun. He's going to throw on first down. Keeps it himself. Throws instead. Has him in. Complete over the line of scrimmage. Gabe Van Overloop.
Yeah. Casey, you've been on fire with all these names this year, brother. I would have fell right there on that one.
So Higgins, as he got to the line of scrimmage, saw Van Overloop and, ended up getting back all that yardage plus 2. So a wise decision. I thought it was a poor decision at the moment because I thought, again, Higgins should do it himself, but there's the poise and sort of savvy of the veteran.
A couple of replays right there. He read his first outside level, didn't work. He went for his safety valve. Great job.
So 2nd and 8, clock ticks, 3 minutes remaining. Higgins sends Spencer in motion. Hand up the middle. Nice run. Gains about 6 or 7 yards. So a little something going on each time for Waterford. Omar Hernandez that time got them to 3rd and 3. Hernandez stays in the game, stands next to Higgins. Higgins wants Spencer in motion. He comes across. Hands off again to Hernandez. And that time Hernandez was hit low. Streckfus came up from the hybrid safety linebacker position along with Ryan Whaley. And it got Hernandez after only, maybe a yard gain. But Waterford here, this is quite an interesting choice, right?
It's very scary.
If they punt it away, we're probably going to the half.
Right.
If they go for it, they can sustain the drive and maybe head for points. But I think they're gonna go hard count and punt this thing away.
They could do that, or coach is just saying, hey, stay here. We're going to call a timeout. We can wind it down. Remember now, a little football 101 to the parents. The referees that are out there have assignments. The deepest guy is responsible for the clock, and he'll put his hand up, and that gives them 5 seconds left in the clock before and delay a game. So if you're seeing that on the field or you're seeing in the sidelines here, just remember that if you see that guy put his hands up, that's 5 seconds left. And what they did was just munch clock to kind of conserve and now probably do a safe punt and let the defense do what they've been doing all day, playing good defense. The sunset here is amazing, but look at that red, serene color, and then the half moon looks like Ralph Clarendon just like kind of taking a peek at you, Casey. It's like saying hello right there.
Straight. An out-of-town score. It was the New London Whalers 32-27 over Lyman Hall with 9 minutes left. Lyman just punched it in. It's 35-32 Lyman.
Wow.
4 minutes left, Whaler football. Big 4th down decision here for Waterford.
Looks like they're going for it.
They're going to count on Higgins to get 2. No one's touching the ball but Higgins. Higgins, I don't think he got it. I think he's short. We're going to see the spot, but I think he's short.
It might be a favorable spot. On this side, it looks like a little bit short, but on the other side, the guy who had the better angle looks like it might be a little bit over that line there, Case. We never know, though.
First down and the chains move. That was, if Higgins needed 6 feet, he got 6 feet and a half an inch.
Probably so, yeah.
1:30 remaining. What's interesting is I don't think Waterford's really threatening to score. I think they just wanted to hold on to the football.
It's a smart move.
1st and 10. Spencer goes in motion. Higgins drops down. Little screen and incomplete. Van Overloop was in the vicinity. So was Hernandez. And I think Higgins didn't throw. I think he thought the blocking back was his receiver.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if that would have been caught, it looked like it was going to be blocked one-on-one, and he could have taken off.
It was a good play call.
Yep.
So that stops the clock with 1:15. Of course, at halftime, you want to stay here for the grade 8. features on both Waterford and Ledyard. And then, of course, 3 pounds of pasta. I know
and it ain't al dente. I heard you guys have been really fully cooking it now.
I know Peter always loves to show you some band action as well, and so cheerleading, band, all that will be available at halftime. Higgins is going to call Waterford's last timeout.
Boy.
They didn't like what they saw either here on 2nd and 10. So both teams out of timeouts. It is a great time of year for sports. Of course, the Bruins just got underway. The Celtics are about ready to get underway. The football season, college and pro, is in full effect. And baseball, though it's fading off into the sunset, is in its great playoff push heading to the World Series with some potentially very cool storylines.
Unbelievable storylines, huh?
And if you if you're a baseball fan, these playoffs have had everything you've wanted. They've had smaller unknown teams, but young players, stars emerging, but the big boys on the block still hanging around. It's been been a lot of fun.
Hopeless opportunity for one team, and then they come in hot, and here you have them in the NL championship. Unbelievable.
And the Mets may also be a part of the 3 pounds of pasta. You have to find out.
I'm with it.
2nd and 10. Spencer in motion. Higgins going to throw on 2nd down. Deep ball. Has a man wide open on the sidelines. It's caught. Crossing the 30-yard line and being brought out of bounds there. Gabe Lombardi, the big play. Waterford, we said they weren't trying to score. I guess I was wrong.
Case, though, is a difference. When you try to be inside the 50, you have to be conservative. But what a great call from Coach saying, hey, we got a matchup. Let's just go for it. Great throw, great catch.
I said to Coach Nola before the game, I said, so Noseri's been involved? He looks at me and goes, Lombardi.
Lombardi, yeah.
I went, oh, so I should use it. Right, yeah. Highlight Lombardi. I'm like, okay, well, I guess so. Lombardi, that was a big one-on-one play.
Yeah.
The better was he broke a tackle, got a little more yardage. They're at the 21. Higgins will throw again in the flat. Has Spencer. Spencer can't break the tackle. Well wrapped up and defended by Dominic Botts.
Clock's still going.
Clock under a minute. Remember, both teams out of timeouts here. 2nd and 6. Got to use the middle of the field here because then it's probably your last chance to do so.
Here's the matchup outside.
Higgins, pressured, has plenty of room, rolls right, throws, has a man overthrown in the end zone. Incomplete. Woo. Was looking for Mason Noseri, and it'll bring up 3rd and 7.
What pocket presence Higgins has. He sees the outside pressure coming, doesn't have to see him visually. The presence there, steps right up, works to the outside, finds the open area to throw. Now, it's incomplete, but the energy of his footwork is really improved from last year.
3rd and 6 at the 17. They can use the middle of the field, get up on it, and run a 4th down play. And if they get the 1st down, stop it, spike it, and get on 2nd down. But so they don't have to reserve themselves to the sidelines just yet. Higgins, plenty of time. Corner route for Spencer. Corner of the end zone. Feet down.
What a play!
Touchdown, Parker Spencer. Corner of the end zone with 28 seconds remaining. And that is a grade 8 candidate.
Wow! Talk about tippy-toe, grazing the grass off the edge, Case. What a play. Beautiful ball thrown. He gave him confidence in that throw. Unbelievable. Great series right here. We didn't expect this to happen.
Once again, Higgins stepped up, made the throw to where only Spencer could catch it, and great footwork from
your favorite
Spencer.
Play, brother.
The cuddle huddle, as I like to call it, as they come back now. Higgins was 3 receivers right. Higgins looks to throw, rolls, throws, has his man, and
it's
the
caught.
2-point is good. Porter Watson has it. And with 28 seconds remaining, Waterford on top 14-6. And the home crowd loving what they see. Lancers all kinds of fired up.
What energy is here in this stadium right now. It's just unbelievable how these guys, these young men right now are on the sidelines feeling that we have hope, we have momentum, we can do this. And now we got to see how Ledyard's going to adjust to this. Second half's going to be special, but we still have 28 seconds, and you never know, with special teams being a big factor in this game.
I am extremely surprised by the physicality that Waterford has showed and the tackling that they have shown here in the first half. Much, much better than I have seen and that we have seen. I expect Ledyard to come out in the second half with a renewed energy.
Right.
Because I think Coach Siricchio is going to get into him a little bit at halftime.
Yeah.
That being said, Waterford gets the ball to start the second half.
Exactly.
And that is a 2-touchdown lead over Ledyard. They have certainly not seen anything like that this year.
No.
This was what we cautioned everybody about Ledyard's 4-0. Ledyard taken by Rhodes, and Rhodes down at the 25-yard line with 22 seconds. A late flag comes in. I don't think that's going to be against. I think that's going to be against Waterford. We'll see what the officials say. I thought maybe it might be a block in the back though as well. So let's find out what the call is. Personal foul, and it is against Ledyard. So that's they're gonna kneel on this.
They're gonna kneel on it.
Go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Ledyard had victories over Thames River.
Thames River, yep.
Montville.
Montville, yeah.
Bacon Academy.
Bacon Academy.
And I believe Plainfield.
Yes.
So I believe a total of 2 wins from their 4 opponents.
From their 4 opponents, yeah.
So this is a step up.
Yeah, it is a big step.
I think they're good.
And this is a great challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, still a close game. They have to realize what they're facing and how they're going to win.
Direct snap, Adamick. And another great tackle in the backfield. A gain of maybe a yard.
These front 4 linemen.
Noah Sullivan got him. And that'll take us to 12 seconds remaining. And why is the clock not running? An injury on the field, so the clock will wind after they handle the injured player. And the injured player is not good for the Ledyard Colonels because it is A.J. Adamick. Now, Adamick did not play in the game against Bacon Academy. He was held out because he had a foot issue.
Yeah.
And that guy right there, number 1, Jamel Curse, as well as Cal Cassavant, did a fabulous job. Adamick's still their biggest guy. Yeah. He's going to the sideline right now, and that does not look like something that is going to resolve itself. But fortunately for them, it's halftime. He can get some work on it.
Some ice on it, get him ready, yeah.
But if you're at home watching and you go, they just lost their guy.
This leads to halftime differently than what we were expecting, right?
It changes halftime for Ledyard a lot.
Moon horizon, brother. Moon horizon.
We're at halftime. It's 14-6 Waterford. You want to come on back and watch all the action at halftime. We're going to have highlights, videos of the grade 8, as well as features on Waterford and Ledyard, and then 3 pounds of pasta.
Yummy,
You're
yummy.
watching Game Day live. 14-6 Lancers.
What kids are you gonna? Jack Higgins is a leader that we haven't had in a long time. He takes complete control. Just the positivity that he brings. His play obviously answers the bell too, but just his overall leadership in the locker room, team room, the talks he gives, his complete mindset. He's quite a player for us.
When I was in 1st grade, I played in London football. I was a running back. Like 3rd week, I broke my arm. I was out for a little bit, and then I didn't play until my 5th grade year. Got a concussion at the end of the year. Parents didn't let me play until high school. You know, his freshman year, he came in, he played for Flossmoor. He made a huge dedication sacrifice in the offseason for his sophomore year. He gained a bunch of weight, hit the weight room. I was very undersized. I wasn't this height, I wasn't this weight coming in my freshman year. I was short. I was always kind of insecure about it too. I was like 5'4", 125 pounds. And you know, I really started to take it seriously. Went from 125 to like 165 my sophomore year. Grew, played both sides of the ball my sophomore year. Noda afterwards talked to me. He said he wants me to step up and transition to quarterback. For the quarterback position, we're looking at his character and what he brings to the table to pretty much get the keys to this program and take this into a different direction, and Jax has been the guy. I never, ever thought I'd be the quarterback here. I remember being a kid in 7th grade watching the 2019 team. Started off 4-0, same thing. I just remember sitting behind the bleachers and throwing the footballs with my boys, and I had no idea this is where I'd be 5 years later, 6 years later. Listen, he's one of the hardest workers out here, so when he practices what he preaches, it's very easy for him to get the buy-in from the other players, and everybody respects him. He's just a good kid all around, and so he's easy to follow, easy to respect. I think it's my job as a captain, the quarterback, to have energy and to have a voice on this team. And it kind of gets the guys going, it gets the ball rolling. So I just think any way I can contribute to that, I'd gladly do it, and it's fun. You know what I mean? Who doesn't like being loud? Who doesn't like having fun playing football? Give me it out there! Oh yeah! I'll have like heartful conversations with them about how I'm feeling if we've had a bad practice or if we've had a good practice. Like, they're my brothers, I die for them, and you know, like, I'm gonna be vocal, I'm gonna have energy, it's just who I am.
Win on me, win on me! 1, 2, 3, win!
The term glue guy gets thrown around a lot in sports, and I think there's no better example of that than Brian Johnson. Going back to last year when things were really not great.
Right, 321 on one, ready?
He was kind of the thing that held it all together on both sides of the ball. And he plays positions that require you to be a confident communicator.
So I play, on offense, I play fullback and blocking back. And on defense, I play linebacker.
He plays spots where typically much larger people play. And that to me is what makes Brian special.
I'm about 5'7", 160 pounds, soaking wet.
He's as tough as they come and makes up for his lack of height with an overabundance of heart.
I think of things as like attitude and effort. You know, if you give enough attitude, you give enough effort, you can just play.
Rick Darlington, who's a big single wing guy in Florida, described the blocking back as the hardest position on the field to find because they are essentially our quarterback. You know, they do the cadence, they communicate the plays, they get the huddle in order. They also have to be very, very tough, very smart. And it's a really hard combination to find year over year at the high school level, but as soon as I read the description, I knew we had one, and he thrived there.
Definitely blocking bigger guys. So a lot of the time I'm the guy that's, you know, taking on the best defensive players on the offense because, you know, I am the lead blocker on most plays. So it ends up me being, you know, blocking bigger guys than myself. You know, I'm not a big lineman like my other teammates. You know, I'm not the biggest, not the strongest, but, you know, I just gotta get dirty with it.
He is one of a kind. He's the vice president of the student body. He is beloved by teammates and teachers and staff alike. Very easy guy to get along with, very agreeable, very kind, very respectful, very selfless. Again, like embodying the qualities that we want in our football players on and off the field. Someone who I'm very proud to say is an ambassador of our program and who I hope can spread the good word of Ledyard football everywhere he goes, because that's a kid that we're extremely proud to put the Ledyard football stamp of approval on.
Win every day, man. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3. Win!
It's time for Game Day's Grade 8 Plays of the Week. At number 8, Gracie Lloyd of East Lyme Field Hockey gets the dish from Lily Gibson, and then look at the stick work, multiple defenders at her mercy, quick shot, goal, winner against Fitch. At number 7, Woodstock Academy's Griffin Bloom. Underthrown pass, picks it off, heads down the sideline, and then, wow, that's 3 guys he makes miss and heads to the house for the pick 6. Can we agree you just don't pick the ball off to Griswold's Aiden Cutter? If you need proof, here's why. Vision, speed, and, well, he gone. Cutter, 85 yards with a little high step into the end zone for the touchdown. Speaking of bad ideas, don't punt the ball to Parker Spencer of Waterford, because, well, Parker's just going to hurt your feelings. A little hesitation, and so I'm going to go outside. I'm going to outrace the 6 of you right here. Let me get a good downfield block. That always helps. But look at all these guys chasing me. I can't possibly make them all miss. Oh, Parker, don't hurt them. Speaking of hurt feelings, how about Porter Carter? 58-yard touchdown run, 1 of 3 in a victory over East Lyme. And how many? 1, 2, there's 3 got, oh, that's just sweet. Carter. Let's go to the youth football. Dominic Narvaez, Groton Mystic. He's going to have to change his number to 75 because on this run, well, he just goes 75 yards with a little power, a little speed. But you don't think you make the grade 8 with just a 75-yard touchdown run, do you? Nah, let's flip it over on defense. Narvaez How about the pick six? From how far? 75 yards. Yeah, he scored 4 touchdowns in this one, but 2 75-yarders. Wow, Narvaez leading Groton Mystic. At number 2, Tyree Barnes. TB is a touchdown maker. How about 5 touchdowns in the game against Thames River? That one keeps himself in bounds. Let's go to the deep ball here, over the shoulder. Great ball. And we know Barnes can go and get it. Great throw, great catch, and then we'll just mix it up and do a little punt return for touchdown number 5. Tyree Barnes is electric. But at number 1, Ben Dubicki, Waterford Soccer, found himself in no man's land. Can he get there in time? Dives into the goal, gets up, makes the save. Turns out to be a clean sheet, 1-0 win for Waterford versus Ledyard, and those are your Grade 8 plays of the week. Send us your plays. Let's get you on next week's Grade 8.
Here at Game Day, we're proud to bring you unrivaled video coverage of local high school sports, all of it free for you to watch. These videos are not free for us to produce though. If you'd like to ensure that we can keep covering your school and your teams, there's a few ways that you can support us. Hit up our merch store and pick up some Game Day gear in your school colors. Our camera operators are always looking for those shirts and hoodies in the crowd, and you may see yourself on our next live stream. We get a lot of support from businesses in our community, and if you'd like to join them as a sponsor, send us a message and we can connect you with our advertising staff. Finally, The Day is the organization behind everything we do here at Game Day. If you want to support The Day's community journalism, consider a print or digital subscription at theday.com/subscribe.
It's almost here, baby.
It's that time.
Time to work.
It's time to shine.
Can you feel it? We got this.
Here we go. Be ready.
Yeah! Are you ready?
Are you ready? Let's go! Oh yeah! It's game day! It's game day! It's game day! 1, 2, 3, it's game day! It's game day!
Communities that are no longer covered by local newspapers become news deserts that lack journalists providing government oversight and access to quality information. The Day is committed to providing comprehensive news coverage in every town in southeastern Connecticut, but we've had to scale back coverage in some towns, including Ledyard and North Stonington, due to market forces affecting local news companies around the country. We need the continued support of the communities we serve to help fund additional staffing that enables us to provide the kind of coverage our readers expect in every town in the region. If you'd like to support the Day's News Desert Fund, please visit givebutter.com/theday.
He's a hard-working kid. I mean, at home, they own one of the largest farms, beef farms and everything in Connecticut, and he's working all the time.
I got 1,100 head dairy farm. We have 1,100 cows, and we try to manage that in the seasons that I'm not playing football or wrestling.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh.
My dad helps me a lot during in and out of football, like before school. It's always, you gotta go feed him. It's kind of always been a responsibility in my life.
I know him since he was a freshman here, and he came with the Wheeler bunch, and I couldn't expect a kid to work any harder.
When we kind of made the co-op, it was weird to me that, like, I never saw these kids, I never knew them. We have a tight bond. It's kind of like we'll walk into the school, like if we're playing another sport, like our track team, they run with Griswold, so whenever we see each other, it's always, hey, how's it going? It's always friendly.
You ever been like in the stands for a Wheeler Griswold basketball game?
Yeah.
Some of your teammates?
Yeah, I have. It's kind of weird. They always ask me who I'm rooting for before the games, and I always tell them whoever's winning. I mean, that's as easy as it is. So.
Well, he started last year, and he's the captain this year, but he was what I used to call the swingman. He played almost every position in case somebody went down on the offensive line, and I used him on some defense, so he's been a good ball player. I'll tell you what, I'm here, I've been doing this for about, little guys all the way up since 1974. And it gets to the point, sooner or later you say, well, how much you gonna give? I'm here for guys like Ben. It's contagious. That's the word I want to use. It's contagious. When Ben starts going on, it just gets contagious. He's that kind of guy. He wants to motivate. I mean, last year we were getting ready for the States, and of course he had a knee problem, and so he was out there and he was like a cheerleader, and he had the scrub defense beating up on our offense, and it was quite the go at it. And he was the main cause. Coaches really don't have their favorites, but he's one of the favorites. That's the best way I can tell you that.
We're back. It's halftime, 14-6 Waterford, and that means it's time for everybody's favorite halftime show. It's 3 pounds of pasta.
Look
where
at them right there in front of you. Ooh,
I
delicious.
asked the coach, Pasta Santabria, 3 questions about absolutely anything, which is where I'm at. So I try to keep them related a little bit to what you see on the field, but who knows? All right, so pound number 1.
Give it to me.
In honor of the Waterford High School electric Parker Spencer, we're going to go Parker Brothers.
Okay.
What's the go-to board game that you would, if you could only keep one, what's the go-to board game?
My mom's going to shed a tear because I'm an old schooler. I love Parcheesi. It was like a mix of Trouble. It was like a mix of, those games, but the OG was Parcheesi, and I used to get down with that a lot.
Every Friday night growing up, I used to go over to my grandmother's house before watching Love Boat and Fantasy Island, which I probably was too young to watch either one of them. But we would play Yahtzee.
Yahtzee was a good one, too.
We would play Sorry. But I got to say, if I could only choose one forever, I might choose Monopoly just because you can play Marathon Monopoly.
Monopoly. Yeah, it can last all night, or you can really hurt somebody's feelings, and he just run away like, I can't afford Baltic Avenue no more. And then I'm like, hey, it's business.
I mean, I've never seen more families get into true arguments than over Monopoly.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to the second pound of pasta, which I mentioned earlier. It has a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon with Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
What is the sports tradition that, quite frankly, you're tired of?
Oh, that's a good one. I just think that before it was really discipline, but one thing that I didn't like, I just sometimes said that adding things to school colors, like outfits, that, if you're wearing, we wore green and gold. That's what we represented. And if you put something else on, it just gave me a vibe that I really didn't like. And I think that was just my era of growing up, was just, we always looked sharp as a team. We always dressed sharp as a team. Coach Vargas made sure we always were dressed to even go on the bus before we went out. So you know, some people coming in like that when we used to see it, and I was like, you know, I didn't get it.
We're going to bring Peter Wappy in after this for a quick one, but for the third pound of pasta, if you're watching the MLB right now, you know the Mets have got a little something going.
Woo,
and Jose Iglesias found something even better than his glove.
Yep.
He's got himself a little reggaeton song out there.
Yeah.
OMG, oh my God.
Oh my God, yeah.
If you could go and sing one song ever in front of you know, a sports team to get them pumped up, what would that song be?
Oh man, that's good. I don't know. I think Run DMC, My House, just something like that. You know, bring everybody in together and then let it rip. Or you know, I'm Bad by LL Cool J.
That's a good one. Waterford's bad, and that's a bad start right there. Spencer drops the ball, and he realizes there's nowhere to go, so he drops down at the 15. And the Lancers have it. Peter, let me bring you in real quick because I have two questions. One, I want to know the go-to board game for you, but I also want to know, is Sweet Caroline over for you?
I was over Sweet Caroline like 15 years ago. And I would go board game. I'm a Catan guy.
Oh, you and Keith Law. Keith Law's a big fan of that. I would say I never got into Dungeons & Dragons as a kid. I think I'd like it more now. I think I'd kind of like to play it now.
Most game concepts now have that Dungeons & Dragons mentality. I do enjoy that.
All right, Waterford, 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Higgins hands the ball off and nothing doing on first down. And I had mentioned that I thought Ledyard was going to come out in the second half with a different mindset, mentality, and physicality. And I think you're going to see it. Waterford tried off tackle, and Hernandez had nowhere to go. But I really think you're going to see Ledyard try to up the individual physicality. You know, it's not a team thing. It's a challenge of every single player individually to raise their level.
Yes.
2nd and 10. Higgins going to keep it himself. Designed run. Breaks a tackle. 4-yard gain, maybe 3.5. And it'll bring up 3rd and long. We're going to try to get any word we can on the status of A.J. Adamick. We know that he left the first half with what appeared to be a leg injury.
Yeah, this Ledyard defense is setting the tone for the second half, and the field position right now is in their favor. To have something like that and force a punt will be really lethal to help the offense out.
After this 3rd down play, I will have word on A.J. Adamick of Ledyard, as we have our spies everywhere. We have the deal. But Higgins going to throw. Zips. Incomplete at the sticks. Just short of his intended receiver, and it'll be 4th down, and Waterford will punt. And it's an apropos moment. That pass was intended for Bumgardner. It's an apropos moment. A.J. Adamick is out. He will not return in this game. Our understanding is that he got leg whipped, which, as you know, is an incredibly painful thing to have happen, which means we're probably going to see Jamel Curse running the offense for the Colonels in the second half.
Sad to hear. I hope he gets better.
Here comes Waterford. So the Colonel defense did their job as they held, punt off, and takes a great Waterford bounce. It'll cross the 40 and get down to the 36-yard line. So Ledyard will have their first offensive possession, but a great job there with the punt and the bounce. And we'll see what the Colonels draw up, because we thought they were going to go into halftime and get a challenge to start winning the line of scrimmage. Add to that the loss of their leader and their main runner. And I'm sure that there was a impassioned plea from him.
Definitely.
You know, get out there and get it done, guys.
Yeah, these guys are all learning together as a team how they can overcome when they face a competitive team. And if they can work together and just do the fundamentals, like old school, do your job, get it done. Whoever replaces will get it done and make it happen.
So it looks like it's going to be Cal Casavant, number 6, as the new main guy in the backfield, and he can throw it too, by the way. Casavant. Yard, maybe a yard and a half. I'll tell you what, Porter Watson, the linebacker for Waterford, number 8, has played a fabulous game. Yep. You talked about tackling. I don't think he's missed a tackle yet. He has been very, very sturdy and technically sound.
Well, this defensive line, I mean, their man Noah Sullivan, I just noticed right there, penetrating and causing a new line of scrimmage is a big factor when you want to get the defense to stop runs.
2nd and 9. Casavan on the counter play. Rosario Gonzalez, gain of perhaps 5. And with Adamick out, Ledyard's offense does become a little more diverse. You'll start to see it won't just be run, snap and run, snap and run.
Exactly. You don't have the key leader there where you know he's going to get the high percentage. Now this can be into their favor.
So against Bacon Academy, Curse was the one who took the snaps when Adamick was out, but then he got hurt, and Cassavant came in and has done a brilliant job the last 2 weeks. So it's not surprising, and Cassavant runs the second team offense during the course of the week in practice as well. 3rd and short, Cassavant straight up the middle, and he'll have the first down with his own second effort, dragging a defender forward for a couple of yards. He had Alex Dijak on his back.
Yeah, that's a big victory for the offensive line right there because they know where it was going, but they found a way to get that big push and get that first down.
First down and approaching midfield. New London lost to Lyman.
Tough loss, huh?
A very close one, absolutely. So first down just shy of midfield. This time it's Grimm. Grimm runs left, bounces off the first tackler, spins over the midfield line into Waterford territory. So gain of 4, and Ledyard has crossed into Waterford territory where Waterford has, spent a week gearing up for Adamick. Now they've got to change their focus.
Yeah, I would say just stick to your guns, play the same way, and play that sound football. You can't just hesitate because the player's out. But again, I like what Ledyard's doing. They're working off tackle. They're working the inside game. They're just trying to mix and get 3-yard pluses.
2nd and 8. 7.5 to be precise. Here goes Curse. Curse has speed, gets that one block. Curse with a stiff arm, and Curse with a first down, and would have had more.
Right.
Credit Baumgardner for staying with it and making the tackle, because when Curse came around the end, he had daylight.
Oh, definitely, and his speed right there made that separation really quick. That's the talent that Ledyard has. They have that ability to kind of throw this mixed, I would say, read schemes, and then boom, out of nowhere, wide open the outside edge for big positive yardage.
Yeah, they've been going off tackle. They have not really worked the edges as much as I thought they would. Perhaps we're going to see them start to expand that a little bit.
It's a great move right there, Case.
1st and 10, ball at the 37-yard line. Curse is in at, we'll call it the quarterback position. He'll get the snap, we think. Curse, high snap, gets it, rolls left, cuts inside, spins, gains 4. Nice run, Jamel Curse, making a little bit out of nothing. Watson with another tackle for the Lancers.
Waterford's Avery Boots at number 52. I said, Bonowitz, that young man did a great job blowing up the edge play because he wanted to bounce it outside. He said, nope, you're going to have to cut it inside where my teammates are at. So that could have been a big plus yardage, but the defense came in and swarmed, wrapped and tackled him for a short gain.
Gain of only a yard after all was said and done. This time, direct snap goes, and then there's that little reverse counter, bouncing it, trying to get outside Rosario Gonzalez, and no thank you.
No thank you. Yeah, that swarm and that defense has been phenomenal tonight. I was expecting, when are they going to slip? When are they going to break down? But you know what? The energy still is being really, the leadership of this team right now is the defense.
Well, credit Jax Higgins. He's been making plays on the offensive side. That time he came flying up. He read that counter, and as soon as he saw the counter, he came flying up and made the tackle for a loss. It'll be 3rd and 12.
This is a situation where Ledyard didn't want to be. 3rd and long.
Third down and 12. Ball is just on the 39-yard line. Snap was to Curse, and he was going to do the little end around to Cassavant, but the penalty flag will back the Colonels up 5 more.
Yep, that's the delay of game. I saw the referee right there. He had his hand raised, and I count to 5, and it went 6. So there it is. Good example, families. That back judge all the way in the back corner, if he has his hand raised, 5 seconds left in the clock, and that quarterback, sure, the quarterback for the offense, because we know who it is, has to get that ball snapped quick.
So it'll be 3rd and 17.
Right now would be a great time to make some noise for the defense.
Let's find out what have the Colonels in their bag of tricks. What has Colonel bag of tricks? Cassavan, told you he can throw it, zips it in the flat, has a completion, but nothing doing after the completion as Curse was hit immediately, and it'll bring up 4th and 12. Normally I'd say they'd go for it, but this is, I think, a perfect spot for that little pooch punt on a 4th and long, try to get Waterford pinned deep.
Again, they have to be quick with it because slow tempo can create problems. That defense almost blocked it last time.
Fourth down, there comes a little pooch kick, heading inside the 15-yard line, so I think that'll be a good result for Ledyard, and it is. 14-yard line is where Waterford will take over after a really nice job by Rosario Gonzalez on the pooch punt. Knocked it out at the 14, and so Waterford, again, back deep in their own territory.
This is still a chess game where you know field position is a factor, so yeah, I'm really proud that Waterford's defense is doing a great job getting a 3 and out, but in this case, it's still favoring Ledyard because of the field position. Let's see what he can do. This band is phenomenal, brother.
Yeah,
you feel it right in the bleachers here.
He's no joke.
Yeah.
Waterford's always had a great music program. Higgins hands the ball off. Nice hole, nice run. They like what they've gotten out of Omar Hernandez so far. Cassavant made the tackle, but 9-yard gain, and Waterford's going up tempo. Higgins gonna keep it himself. Not much, and maybe a loss as he ran into his own man as there was penetration into the backfield.
Higgins keeps it and picks up about half a yard. He's brought down on the play by Brian Johnson.
Johnson and McCullough, first 2 there for Ledyard. It'll be another short yardage play here for this time. For Ledyard, it's a big stop, because if they can stop him here, it puts a real huge question into the. I mean, I think Waterford goes for it even here, but I would love to see a stop and a decision. Higgins going to keep it himself, and he says, no stop. I'll get the first. We'll move the chains.
He called it out for you there, Case.
That was a clear. I mean, he looked up at me right after he did it too. That was
I saw
clear.
your eyes. I felt the 1980s come out of you, like a Giants defensive play, but it didn't happen, huh?
He clearly
said, nah.
No, there will be no 4th down here at Case. We're not gonna. So the chains move up to the 23-yard line. 3 minutes remaining here in the 3rd period. This second half's going to go fast because Waterford is going to take their time. They're going to, even when they go up tempo, they're going to let the clock run. They want to eat. Higgins getting his players positioned where he wants them. Spencer goes in motion. Jet sweep. Spencer tries to cut it back. Great pursuit on the play from Jackson Favory. He got up there and stayed right on Spencer's hip so that when Spencer tried to cut it back, nowhere to go.
So it's a defensive scheme that is played there. When you see a jet motion coming to you and that's your man, you could actually creep up and play the run. And then that particular situation, that was an automatic read for him, which makes him an extra player right there in the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, if he was back, could have been some bad action there.
So 2nd and 11 is a loss on the play. Higgins sends Spencer in motion again. This time he's going to throw. Looking, has a man over the middle, throws into triple coverage, incomplete. Johnson was the first to get a hand on it, and that was a ill-advised attempt for Nosiri. I think Higgins is happy that one ended up on the turf and not in the Colonel's hands.
Definitely. I don't know about you, Case, but he is throwing really hard tonight. Like, I mean, it's zipping it pretty fast.
He's got a strong arm, and you know, some school would be nuts. Well, all schools are nuts if they're not looking to get him onto their team next year. I don't think you need to know what position he is. You just need to know the kid's a football player, and that he's going to give everything he has to win.
Definitely.
And I'll find a spot for him because the kid's just too talented and too much of a winner. 3rd and 11. There goes Higgins to throw. Deep ball on the sideline. Has a man off the fingertips. Off the fingertips of Lombardi.
Oh, wow, so close.
70-yard pass in the air. Falls incomplete off the fingertips.
It was beautiful to see the play develop, and as he threw the ball, we both were just sitting there amazed on how he rocketed that ball and just the fingertips missing right there. Oh, man, let me open this bottle of Pepto-Bismol. It's going to be another one. Yeah.
Beautiful play. They went for the shot. They had the shot. Incomplete by an inch. And give Lombardi credit. I mean, he was saying, I wish I let my nails grow. Punt off, almost blocked. Takes a Waterford bounce and will cross the 40 to the 36-yard line, and that's where Ledyard will have their next possession.
Is that like a deja vu? Wasn't we here a series ago?
It does feel like they've been hanging out in the same spots.
Yeah. Casey, you're so right. This game is going by so fast. I mean, we all know that the single wing, and we're seeing it on the field here, how they're waiting for that play, but also chewing the clock at the same time. And then the other side's doing the same thing. So even though it's tempo and it's a great game, that clock is winding down to the 4th quarter real quick.
Well, here's the other thing why it's going fast. People forget the thing that slows the clock down the most is scoring.
Right.
Well, so there hasn't been a lot of scoring.
Yeah.
Scoring slows the game down because you got all the extracurriculars. These guys have been playing in between mostly, with the exception of the 3 touchdowns that we've seen. 1st down, Colonels. Grimm going to keep it himself. Heads up the middle. Has a big hole. Puts his head down. Woo! Looking John Riggins-esque as he crosses into Waterford territory.
Crank up that diesel.
Jackson Grimm, and he's coming up a little bit. I think he may have had a little, we call it a blown tire.
Yeah, a little bit. He's had to adjust his shoe, put the heel right back in. But, man, what a physical run. It looked like it was going to be outside, but it was actually a trap play inside, and he was worked upfield. And when he saw that first guy getting next to him, he laid the hammer.
I'll give one to you.
Good.
We just said John Riggins. Jackson Grimm, he's running like Russ Grimm.
Russ Grimm. Man, that was great. That's a great good line there. Jacoby, Schlereth, those guys were monsters. The pigs of Washington, right?
The Hogs.
The Hogs.
Hogs, even more intimidating than a pig.
Yeah. I like that whip.
Grimm, straight up the middle. Gains a yard. And what's significant on that play is that number 2, A.J. Adamick, was back into the game. So he had been, we were told that he was out, but in fact back into the game. I will be curious to see, what that does for him. I think they've obviously been giving him treatment and working on him. Is he in there, I don't want to say as a decoy, but is he in there, can he give them the burst? Because not for nothing, they've been moving the ball okay. So we'll find out. But he's there, ready to go. 2nd and 8. Snap to Adamick. Keeps it himself. Has the sideline. And now he is clearly not 100%. 1st down, crosses the 40 to the 35. I think you can see that he's not pushing off that as like he'd like to, but right there was one of the bigger gains for Ledyard. That's still a very big play.
One thing that I love about football is the synergy of an athlete. Kay, sometimes you take a fastball right to the hip. How we find a way, because of our brothers who are in the team, to kind of put that aside and know the purpose of the game. I love the way he stepped up. Even though he's not 100% 1st down, that's the kind of attitude that we want to have on an offense.
1st and 10, Colonels. Ball at the 36-yard line. Last play of the quarter. Adamick, off left tackle. Breaks a tackle, gains a couple, and that'll take us to the end of period number 3. A scoreless 3rd quarter takes us to the 4th quarter in a 1-touchdown game. Lancers maintain the 14-6 lead. But we'll see what the Colonels can draw up on second down. We'll come on back. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Last year, Waterford senior number 4 on the grade 8, the Olympico kick. I'm here with Cam Dickinson. I don't think she can pull it off. It looks way too hard. I think it was a fluke. Get it done.
I got it.
That was just too easy, and that is a grade 8 play. Send in your best plays and see if you can beat that and make this year's grade 8 Olympico style.
Relive a century of history from the perspective of southeastern Connecticut with the new hardcover book, Front Page News, a century of big stories in the day, 1881 to 1981. This 136-page limited edition book captures the pulse of a region and a nation, showcasing the day's most iconic front pages from its first 100 years. Order today at theday.frontpagesbook.com.
So as we were at break, Brian Johnson limped off the field for Ledyard. So on this second down play, they will be without their primary caller. Adamick has already been out and back in, and he has it here on second down. He bounces off the first hit, spins and breaks a tackle. Nice individual effort from A.J. Adamick. It's going to give Ledyard a third and short. That could have been stopped in the backfield.
Definitely.
I'm corrected. 52, Bruce McCullough was the injured player, not 32, Brian Johnson. I correct that, and if you're listening and you're from the Johnson family, I apologize. So 3rd and 5.
Looks like Jack's catching a little bit of a cramp there. Some of these guys right now, fourth quarter case, we all know this. If you hydrate on a Friday, you better start hydrating at 6:30 in the morning. Got some guys on the sidelines cramping up a little bit here.
3rd and 5. Adamick gets the snap, keeps it himself, and he is buried. Loss on the play. Waterford flying to the football. Sam Vasquez was the first one there.
And this Lancer Swarm Casey has been phenomenal tonight. Again, I'm waiting to see what's going to happen if they're going to give in. They're not. Their energy and their mindset is going to the plan and sticking to it and playing good football defense.
Very impressed by Waterford's tackling, by their physicality at the line of scrimmage. And Ledyard right now just kind of hanging around, but 4th and 9 at the 35-yard line. Will they punt? Will they go? Pass into the flat is intercepted. Intercepted. And pushed out of bounds. Gabe Lombardi. Wow. We saw the pass go off his fingertips. That time he said, I'm going to catch this one and head in the other direction.
Pass him the trophy. A great read. The ball, again, they're not a passing team, so the ball was lofted up there. He was open, but the read of the play and him getting it, Lombardi just took it downtown.
He is the ECC 100-meter champ, so woo, get him early, because once he gets going, you're not going to catch him.
No.
You know, what's interesting about that was that Ledyard had a lot of misdirection on the play.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know who had the ball at first, and you're waiting for the run. You're still, you don't expect to see the ball go in the air.
The only way I saw it was I saw the kid drop back, and that's something that they don't do. And when he dropped back, I'm like, they're going to pass it. Again, just a tough play for Ledyard.
1st and 10, Waterford in Ledyard territory. Higgins hands the ball off on 1st down to Hernandez, who gains 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now, 10 minutes remaining, and Waterford right now, I say goal number 1 is hold on to the ball for 5 minutes.
Yeah. They're on the other side of the 50, which is really good. But again, what we've been seeing all day with the offense is control and tempo. They mix it up, and they're in charge of it, not making mistakes on themselves, but actually being effective on every play. And that's what we're seeing right here that's making them stable and dominating on the offensive side.
2nd and 5. Higgins looks to throw over the middle, has a man, caught. Van Overloop. Inside the red zone, Waterford knocking, great throw from Higgins.
Mr. Bunico used to call that the tight end extend. Right there, no one's really worried about the middle of the field. The linebackers are dropping to the receivers. And there's your tight end with a great catch and a great play right there.
So Waterford inside the 20 now, showing a diverse offense, which reminds me of listening to the defensive calls for New London when you'd hear before every play, watch the pass,
watch the pass,
watch the
watch
draw, watch the run. I'm like, what, is there anything left? What's left? We're gonna, like, watch everything.
Coach Majors is here tonight, and that voice, you can hear it all the way down to Egypt, and when you hear it, you pay attention. Love you, Coach.
Higgins yelling to Nolda. Nolda says, go, go, go. He sees the hand in the air. Will they get it off? They do. Higgins is going to keep it, breaks one tackle. That play was sort of doomed from the beginning. Schlimgen got the tackle, but that play really didn't have much of a, you saw Higgins didn't really know what he wanted. Yeah. Nolda's yelling at him, go, 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 because he sees the back judge with his hand in the air.
Right. But he was smart. He saw that he was depth in the back of the field, but he knew he had to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he did get a +1. So instead of having a second and long, you're still right there with playable opportunity.
So clock running, more importantly, with 8:20 remaining. Waterford would be thrilled with points, but more than anything, I think they'd really love one more first down and just get some clock going.
Grind it and grind it, yeah.
2nd and 9 for Higgins. Handoff. Bouncing off of a tackle is Spencer. Gains a handful of yards. It'll bring up a manageable 3rd down. They're going to say he got 7. So it'll be 3rd and 3 and 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
4 down territory for sure.
You know, it's a very close game. It's very heated. You see the rivalry right here. These are the things that I'm starting to see, that Waterford played some quality teams, showing that they have that adversity. As you see, that kind of stressors is not on their side. It's on Ledyard's side right now. They're frustrated over there.
And Ledyard's about to run the gauntlet. If you look at their first 4 games being favorable, their next 4 starting tonight are all against teams with very good records.
Yes.
Higgins keeps it himself, breaks a tackle, dives forward. I think he's going to have enough for a first down. Again, an incredible individual effort by Jax Higgins. McCullough back into the game for Ledyard, had him in the backfield, and he kind of dragged the ankle out of there and got a first down. So it'll be 1st and goal. Ball at the 9-yard line. Clock ticking with 7 minutes and counting here in the ball game. A score from Waterford here would make things very difficult for Ledyard.
Yeah. I mean, Higgins, all I can hear in my head is a Rocky song. The way he's playing tonight has got that fight, that energy, that passion. He wants to win, and it's showing right here.
Bumgarner goes in motion. Higgins hands the ball off, and not much there. Ball was carried by Rassicott. Got a yard maybe. Grimm did a great job getting in there and getting his ankles before he could kind of high step to the next level. But again, what I'm thinking about more than anything is clock. Because Ledyard's offense, the way Waterford's been playing, they have not been allowing, and with Adamick maybe being a step slow off of the injury, you just wonder about Ledyard's ability to score twice in limited time and get a hold as well. Bumgarner in motion. Higgins, 2nd down, looks to throw, and through the back of the end zone, incomplete. And Higgins was pressured, wasn't able to get much behind it as Grimm got to him. And as things were looking grim for Higgins, he got the pass off incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and goal. I think Waterford, I mean, obviously they go for it. What'll be interesting is if it's 4th down, we saw them miss an extra point, go for 2. Would they try a field goal, which would be huge, make it a 2-score game?
Every time I hear field goal, I think of Alabama and Auburn. So I would say go for it.
Higgins is going to throw, pressured, rolls left, throws in the end zone. His man is tackled, and there's the flag. Parker Spencer was open, then he was tackled. That's going to move the chains up half the distance. So it was from the 9. It should move it to the 4.5. And I believe under these circumstances, it's an automatic first down.
Yes, definitely.
Because it's not an automatic first down except for here, right? Because no, it's not. It's a repeat of third down. It's not. So pass interference at the high school level is not an automatic first down.
Oh.
So if it was, say, 4th and 25, you get your penalty yards, but it remains fourth down. What I didn't know was on 3rd and goal. So I would tell my defenders, pass interfere all the time. Because all it's going to do is continue to go halfway to the goal, and it's going to repeat the down. It's third down. It's never going to go backwards. So 3rd and goal, now the ball from the 5. Higgins keeps it himself, has a hole, pushes forward into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacks. Higgins. Waterford gets 20, and they've got a 2-touchdown lead.
Man, that young man is playing a great game tonight. I'm not trying to call him an MVP in this game, but guess what? I'll throw my vote in soon. What a great drive, Casey. I mean, we see that passion again. Waterford, when are they going to make a mistake? They've been really coaching great play calls today and playing good defense and having Jacks run in the offense. They're full tune tonight.
Extra point attempt coming. Snap is good, and the kick is blocked.
Oof.
Blocked.
Let's take a look, brother. Go ahead, Casey. Take it away,
just
brother.
Take a look at Higgins. I want you to describe just the tenacity you see here.
He takes the ball, and he's rumbling, bumbling into the end zone. And as he gets there, his linemen grab him and give him a hug. And he stares to the crowd and says, I have more. Great handshake and great movement, as that was kind of like Charlie's Angels right there. Did you notice that?
I did. They need a third person in for the Charlie's Angels.
I still never knew who he was.
Who Charlie was?
Yeah, and then the guy from Inspector Gadget. No one ever knew. Just throw it out there.
That's a good, you know what, that might be a 3 pounds of pasta question.
Could be.
No, not that. I don't answer. But who was your favorite angel?
I'm going to hold off. I'm going to hold off because I have a crush.
Because, again, I go back to growing up. You know, I was fortunate enough to have great sets of grandparents that took great care of me. But when I used to go hang out with Grandma Aggie down on Plant Street, like I said, we played a lot of Yahtzee and stuff, but we also watched Charlie's Angels and Love Boat and Fantasy Island and Dallas.
Very true, very true.
I watched a lot of good stuff with Grandma Aggie. With Pop Vendetto, it was Mutual of Omaha's Wild King.
Oh, wow, classic. You just ready to make my heart drop right there.
Ledyard. Return from Rosario Gonzalez up past the 30-yard line. So with 5:34 remaining, it is a very uphill climb here for Ledyard to set the tone or set the stage. An offense not built to score quickly needs to do so.
Yeah, and the fear of it is that it can be explosive when you make a mistake. But again, this Waterford defense, to me, if I'm coming out, I'm really ripping on this defense and saying, give me one more drive. Give me one more series. Big series for them right now.
1st and 10. Ball at the 32-yard line. Adamick gets maybe a yard or two. Defensively, that's been the man. Porter Watson, and you know, a lot is lost in the Jacks Higgins spotlight.
Yeah.
But
the unsung hero right there, the big 8.
Watson has
Gotta love
made
that kid.
He's had to have had a dozen tackles tonight.
Yeah, quietly doing his job, getting right back in the line and making the calls and leading the way. And as you can see him right there on the sideline, I love linebackers that can pep up the big dogs in front. You have to have that kind of synergy. It's a lot of effort and burning, but guess what? That makes it an opportunity for the defense to dominate.
I mean, Waterford's front 7 have been great, but Watson's made every tackle. Adamick tries to get outside. Great job on the edge by the Waterford defender, maintaining and setting it and making Adamick go even farther outside than he wanted to. He got 3 or 4 yards, but give Dijak credit. He set the edge wide and said, you're not, if you have to go around me,
you're going to have to bounce it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great job setting that. Give a little, after this play, I want you to give a 101 for the people at home about what setting the edge means.
Awesome.
Fumbled snap. Grimm has to dive on it, and it's going to be 4th and 11. Talk about setting the edge.
So when you have outside linebackers or defensive ends that are assigned to that outside gap, the biggest thing is when a down lineman or a tight end comes down and you see someone coming at you, setting the edges to be explosive and not creating a gap. So sometimes you could feather it knowing that the play is going outside, or you could dominate by making it bounce where your players will be free. So the goal is all about getting it to your teammates. by being an effective edge player.
Fourth
Containing.
and 9. And Ledyard's going to punt it away and rely on the defense, see if they can pin Waterford back.
Oh, boy.
And what a punt. This is going to go all the way inside the 10 to the 9-yard line with 4 minutes remaining.
Special teams, Casey's been unbelievable tonight. That is a turnover in the field position that you know they needed it.
And you know Waterford's going to be very conservative, you'd think.
Yeah.
So that was a setting the edge 101. I'm going to go setting the edge for dummies.
Yep.
Setting the edge for dummies, what it means is you as the defensive player get to a position to where the person with the ball must go back inside toward where there's more players to make the play for your team. You don't let them get to the outside of you, whatever it takes to get them back into the middle of the field where your teammates are waiting.
You could be a great NFL coach with that tactic right there, but well said.
That's called
well
setting
said.
the edge for dummies.
Setting the edge, 101.
4 minutes, 4 seconds here in the ball game. Waterford up 2 scores, 20-6. And I think Waterford is going to take a timeout, and they are. So with a quick timeout on the field, we'll take a timeout. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
At The Day, our journalists are in your community, talking with business owners, attending town meetings, analyzing data, talking to government leaders, reporting on the issues that matter most to you. Since 1881, we have been serving our community and will continue to do so 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Never miss a day of news. Enjoy convenient home delivery right to your doorstep, 7 days a week.
Subscribe at theday.com/subscribe.
Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. Gear up for game day with a winning smile from Waterford Dental Health. Located in Waterford, we're your go-to for top-notch dental care in a relaxed, friendly setting. Whether you need a routine checkup, a cosmetic boost, or advanced treatment, our experienced team has you covered. Enjoy the game with confidence and comfort. Schedule your appointment today. Waterford Dental Health, where your smile is our top priority. Visit us online. Higgins keeps it himself. Nothing there. The snap was a little bit off, and Higgins was wise to just take it to the turf. It'll be 2nd and 11. Clock under 4 minutes here in the ball game. As always, you're going to want to check our social medias at Game Day CT after the game. You'll see the interview with the winning coach. You'll see the Philomena's Player of the Game Day, who will get awarded with that beautiful Game Day, Player of the Game Day shirt, courtesy of Sporties in Waterford, as well as the Science Play of the Game and the highlights. All will be coming via social media after this one. Waterford with a 20-6 lead. Higgins hands the ball off, and a big hole up the middle, and rumbling and stumbling and getting a big gain was Rassicott. Biggest gain of the day for him, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and short. And right now, the biggest opponent Ledyard has is time.
Yeah, definitely. Rassicott, I coached his dad, great young man. Seemed like he just was doing great job there, hitting the hole. But the linemen did a great job blocking and sustaining their block for that play.
3rd and 1. I got to imagine Higgins keeps the ball here for Waterford. Hard count. No one bites. Good discipline from the Colonels. Let the clock run. Wait for that hand to go in the air. High snap. Handoff. And a loss on the play. Nothing there that time. And there you see Schlimgen coming out of it again.
What an athlete. That young man's phenomenal.
Omar Hernandez, and a timeout Ledyard. So we'll take again one more opportunity, 20-6. Waterford on top. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com. At the end of today's game, you'll have the Philomena's Player of the Game. Game Day is brought to you by Philomena's. It's always Game Day at Philomena's, southeastern Connecticut's go-to destination for events, fine food, and great atmosphere. Offering an all-new brunch menu, wing and drink specials, and live music, Philomena's provides the premier atmosphere for viewing all of your college and pro football. Stop in and see Mike or Sarah sit at the brand new bar, or reserve your party in one of 3 private dining areas. Everyone's family at Philomena's. You're also going to want to follow Game Day CT after the game for the Science Top Play. Pave the way for your students' financial success with a MySci account from Science Federal Credit Union. Open a high-yield MySci savings account today and help support a positive financial. Ledyard coming after this punt that they got what they wanted. Spencer gets it off quickly. Ball lands and takes a Waterford bounce into Colonel territory. It'll finally come to rest at the 45-yard line. But the biggest issue with that is time. It runs 10 more seconds off the clock. So Ledyard gets good field position. They're basically back to where they were before the punt, but 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Realistically, they're going to need a home run and an onside kick. I don't think they can rely on a stop.
Yeah, right now defense could be really sound, play 2 safeties behind it. They've been doing well with some run games like that. But again, the fundamentals of wrapping, gap tackling, all that, it's in their favor. So it's really going to be difficult for Ledyard right now unless they have that big explosive play like you talked about, brother.
Adamick has been held in check, 1 touchdown tonight, but held in check for the most part by a swarming, tackling Waterford defense. To pass, and it's intercepted! Intercepted by Lombardi! Lombardi stays on his feet! Pick! 6 for 6! Gabe Lombardi has been hunting the end zone all night, and he just hit pay dirt and puts the final nail in the Ledyard coffin.
What a play. Another beautiful read, another thrown ball, a little bit better, but again, his reaction was unbelievable. Had gotten right there on time to get 2 hands in it, and when he took off, he said, I'm going to take it to the house. Pass me that trophy.
Gabe Lombardi had been sniffing that pick 6
unbelievable
all night long, and that time he got it. He missed his opportunity on the long touchdown pass, got his opportunity on the pick 6 in the other direction.
I heard that's his first year, Case.
26-6 with 2 minutes remaining. And yes, it is
his
confirmed. It is
Look
his
at
first year playing football.
We have that information from sidelinefamilies.com. Wonderful job right there. First year, unbelievable. The way he's playing, he's got a lot of potential.
So I'm gonna be honest here. I'm gonna be going. I came into this game thinking Ledyard was gonna control the line of scrimmage on both sides.
Yeah.
And I thought for Waterford to be in it, they were gonna have to score a lot of points.
Yeah.
I completely underestimated Waterford's ability to be physical and their tackling, which has been superb tonight.
Yeah, I've been waiting for them to break down, and I was waiting for them to just basically give in. And what we've seen today, if they keep it consistent, a game like this, they have to get ready for next week, but this will show that identity that Waterford is a good team in this league.
Well, they're going to move to 5-0, and they're going to stay at 3 in the Double S rankings. Here's the interesting part. You get vibes on the field when you go down beforehand. I went down beforehand, and the intensity from Coach Seth Nolda of Waterford, to be candid, he and I are somewhere between friendly and friends. I would consider him to be, I know him very well. I know the Waterford staff very well.
Yeah.
He was so locked in before the game. He took the time to talk to me because, it's an obligation.
It's an obligation, yeah.
But I could get the sense that as soon as he could be done with me, kick is blocked. As soon as he could be done with me, he was so focused.
Yeah.
And you talk to coaches and you get a vibe sometimes from coaches. And coaches never give you anything.
No, they try not to.
But there was something about his wording and his energy. And after we watch this touchdown, pick 6 from Lombardi, we'll talk about it.
The ball was just thrown right in the air, and then when he catches it, you can see him. He is trying to get to the outside third. He passes that first defender, and then one of their best players, Ledyard, when he cruises in, he's looking for his teammates to give hugs. Look at that.
Well, again, the speed was there, and he gave Adamick the hesitation and was able to keep going. When I talked to Nolda, Coach Nolda, I said, he said things like, well, we'll try to give him some different looks, and we got to be physical tonight. But I'm looking at him, and I'm like, you really think there's something about you, like you really like where your team's at right now, don't you? And he looks at me and he goes, I hope I'm talking to you afterwards.
Yeah.
Meaning, I hope I'm the coach you're interviewing after this thing. I understood the meaning. And then when I talked with Coach Siricchio, I got a different vibe from him. The vibe being he was very aware that this was his team's first real test, And it wasn't a lack of confidence or anything, but I was like, hey, you guys were really impressive against Bacon Academy. He goes, yeah, these guys are really good across from us. Like he was, you could just see like it's a good team over there.
Right.
And I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, but if you guys play like, if you're as physical as you want to be, he goes, yes. He goes, if we can be, if we are, like he sensed like this was a little bit of a challenge. So both coaches, I think, knew going in that this was going to be, and this was a very evenly matched game. Yeah. Waterford, though, really, it was about tackling.
Yes, definitely.
Adamick breaks one there and goes down after a gain of 7.
I mean, that front 7 case all deserved to go to Philomena's and get some beautiful, delicious garlic Parmesan wings, because I still feel it in my ribs since the day we were there for the first game. But, that's one thing that I'm saying is that the image and the attitude of defenses really could be more profoundly looked at. And tonight, what we see is that this defense has that ability to hold teams down.
2nd and 4. Adamick to keep it again. Fighting, won't get there. It's going to be 3rd down, and the clock will continue to run. Again, as we're down to a minute remaining here in the ball game, Waterford with a 26-6 lead. You got to think that this one is heading towards the Lancers. You're going to want to go on all of our social medias at Game Day CT for the head coach, Zeth Nolda. I'm going to talk to him about all the things he saw tonight, as well as the Philomena's player of the game and the Scient play of the game, all available afterwards tonight. Grimm keeps it on 3rd down, and he'll have a 1st down. Ball on the turf, ball loose. Waterford thinks they have it.
Wow, they got the ball.
Lancer football.
And you wouldn't think that it would be great to finish this game off with the ball in Higgins' hands on a victory mode for his effort tonight. Unbelievable.
So Waterford will take over. 30 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Awesome job.
And they can go into the victory formation.
The sound of the train in the background there, Casey.
So Waterford will snap. Higgins will take the knee. And the clock will tick. And that will be all she wrote. The Waterford Lancers will move to 5-0. Ledyard will drop to 4-1. And Waterford, with the first sort of statement game of their season, will stay in the rankings. A hug there. Higgins acknowledging the effort of Ledyard. They played very well, but Waterford outdid them. It's been fun here on a Friday night. Stay tuned on Game Day CT for all of our social media videos of the interview with the coach, the player of the game, the Philomena's player of the game, and the Scient play of the game. For Pasta Santabria and all the crew, you've been watching Game Day live on theday.com. Good night, everybody.